Hey guys, so today we're going to go through a barbell bench press. This is probably one of my favorite exercises. The barbell bench press is awesome for building that overall chest development. There's a few cues I use when you performing the barbell bench press. I'll try and go through each of them first and then we'll perform the exercise and I'll demonstrate. I utilize this exercise mainly for strength. So usually I'm going for about sets of 5. On the bench, we've got a power bar. So it's got 2 markings on the bar here. I usually put my middle finger over the marking, which is about slightly wider than shoulder width. You're gonna make sure the bar is also centered on the bench, which you can tell by this middle knurling being directly in front of your face. I'm gonna lay down on the bench and show you how else I set up for this exercise. So you're gonna start off by sitting at the end of the bench, and you're gonna lay back, just make sure you don't hit your head on the barbell. You wanna make sure that barbell's nice and centered. Find your positioning on the bar by putting your fingers, make sure your fingers are in the same spot on either side. You want to grab the bar so the bar sort of goes in between your palm and your wrist, so across. Once you grab the bar, you're going to slide your head off the back of the bench. This allows you to bring your feet in, and then you're going to bring your head up, slide down the bench, roll your shoulders back and down so your shoulder blades are flat on the bench. The barbell should be just above your mouth or your nose. Once you're in this position, you're going to push down with your heels. Make sure your bum stays on the bench. This will cause a bit of an arch in your back. That is what we want. And you're going to push with your palms straight up. Unrack the bar. When we slowly bring it back down, we want it to just fall just below our chest on our sternum. And then we push up and the bar path should be on a slight angle back to the starting position. Bring it down on an angle, slightly up on an angle. That's the way I've found to build the most amount of strength in a bench press, especially with that foot placement and slight back arch. There are so many ways to do a bench press. What works for you might not work for me, and what works for me might not work for you. I know a lot of people like their feet flat on the ground, which is okay. You might want a slightly narrower grip on the bar. The wider the grip, you want to utilize more of a back arch. But we don't want our bums coming off the bench. Your bum needs to be planted on that bench. Use that leg drive, which will activate more of the chest to get more of a push. When you can execute this movement correctly, you will notice a big jump in your strength in the bench press. By keeping those shoulder blades back and down on the bench and nice and flat, it'll protect your shoulders from rolling forward and causing shoulder pain in a bench press, which is very common. These compound lifts like the bench press and the deadlift and the squat, easy to learn, but they're hard to master. Make subtle adjustments in your hand placing, your foot placing. See what works for you. See what gives you the most power to perform this exercise. If you like this video and you like the way I explain things in the gym, please hit subscribe. I've got a video like this coming out every single week where I explain exercises that are easy to understand, gives you the tips to follow. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments.